What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. Going to talk about WWE SummerSlam 12 predictions you can take to the bank. And this comes from WhatCulture.com. For the first time in years, SummerSlam is taking place away from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. With a 4-hour runtime and a sure-to-be rowdy Brooklyn crowd, it really does feel like the WrestleMania of the summer, even if not every match on the card is a must-see bout. However, with celebrity guests, huge title matches, and a rematch which is being billed as too big for a WrestleMania, there is no doubt that this year's SummerSlam is going to be very special indeed. Whether or not it's going to live up to the hype remains to be seen at this point. But with a total of 10 bouts crammed into the show, it's certainly not a pay-per-view which is lacking a diverse and varied card. Here you will find your 10 predictions for WWE SummerSlam. One or two you might be expecting, but others are sure to surprise you. Is John Cena walking out of Brooklyn as a 16-time WWE champion, or is Seth Rollins going to take one more step to cementing his legacy as the new face that runs the place? Is Brock Lesnar's epic clash with The Undertaker going to play out the same way as their last encounter, or is there be a swerve of some sort? How is Ever star Stephen Amell going to cope with his debut in the square circle? The answer to those questions and more are all here, and if they right, Sunday is going to be one hell of a night. Number 12. The Rock returns, and so does Stone Cold. Originally sparked by comments from Roman Reigns, the rumor mill is now going into overdrive about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson potentially making a surprise appearance at SummerSlam. With Jon Stewart hosting the show and L-Star Stephen Amell taking part in a match, the event is pretty well stacked when it comes to celebrities, but the great ones showing up will take things to another level. There are those who believe he'll arrive to provide his cousin Roman Reigns with some backup, and others who foresee The Rock inserting himself into the main event in order to set up that long-rumored rematch with Brock Lesnar. That would be somewhat appropriate to seeing as it was at SummerSlam 2002 that Lesnar beat The Rock for the WWE Undisputed Championship and sent him to Hollywood. I, however, think that if The Rock does show up, it will probably go in one of two directions. He'll either come out to join host Jon Stewart in a moment which is sure to make headlines and get the WWE some mainstream media attention the next day, or his feud with Triple H will be further in some way, setting up a match at next year's WrestleMania, which may or may not also involve Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon. How does Stone Cold Steve Austin factor into things? Well, with him appearing in town to promote WWE 2K15, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised to see him join The Rock and Stewart in the ring in a scene reminiscent of WrestleMania 30 minus Hulk Hogan, of course. Number 11. Sasha Banks steals the show. The Diva Revolution has been a disappointment so far. While there are no denying that the quality of the matches has improved significantly, that only count for so much when there are no real storyline attacks and the Divas are without notable personality or motivation. They're just three teams constantly battling each other with no clear end in sight. Is this SummerSlam match going to decide which is the most dominant faction? If so, how will that have an impact on the Diva title picture? It appears as if we are just going to have to wait and see on that front. But if there's one thing which is easy to predict happening at SummerSlam, it's the boss stealing the show. The reaction she's getting on Raw and SmackDown is undeniably louder than her fellow NXT and WWE Diva, and that's for good reason. She's awesome. Sasha beating Nikki Bella on Raw this week is hopefully going to open the door to her receiving a championship shot and ending that lengthy and stagnant reign before it surpasses the length of AJ Lee. It's a big weekend for Sasha in general, as she'll be defending her NXT title at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn the night before. and as it's likely the boss will lose that in order to make her transition to the main roster permanent. She should be well motivated to outshine the competition on Sunday. Number 10. Dean Ambrose turned heel. The Shield vs. the Wyatt family was an epic feud which resulted in some of the best matches of 2014. But the current war taking place between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper feels somewhat incomplete without Seth Rollins, who busy being WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and Eric Rowan on the shelf with an injury. For months now, the four men involved in this feud have been battling it out so often that it's hard to get excited about them coming face to face on Sunday for what is hopefully the final chapter in this saga. How then can WWE critics make it an interesting match which has a lasting impact? For a while now, it feels like they've been teasing a heel turn for Dean Ambrose. It looked like it might come when he first started backing up Roman. But with all the recent talk of being brothers and like family, SummerSlam would be the ideal time for that relationship to come crashing down when the lunatic friend betrayed his former Shield brethren and cost him his chance to get revenge on Bray. A huge spoiler would be to have Dean join the Wyatt, but that feels a little random given that he appeared to genuinely hate them both. Instead, another motivation could be found for Dean's turn, seeing the success Seth had had while Dean had been held back because of his friendship with Roman, for example, and that would lead to a first program featuring these two battling out for the next few months, something we yet to see. Number 9. Cesaro vs. Kevin Owens ended up being a match of the year candidate. Both Cesaro and Kevin Owens are going into SummerSlam with something to prove. Rumor pointing to Owens being put down the card after this feud with Cena. But that doesn't appear to have been the case this far as he remained part of the main event scene on both Raw and SmackDown, even if he's not in the main event tier storyline. Meanwhile, Cesaro is once again breaking out of the box he's been shoved into by those behind the scenes, and SummerSlam is a stage he needs to impress on if he hopes to be given the chance to grab that brass ring. As a result, expect these two to deliver quite possibly not only the best match at SummerSlam, but also a genuine match of the year candidate on Sunday. They may not be going into Brooklyn with the most well-developed story or even a great deal of fanfare, but both of them have wild fans in recent weeks and months with A matches, so putting them in the same ring at the same time against one another feels like a guaranteed recipe for success. Owen and Cesaro are both hungry to rise to the top of the WWE roster and deserve to be there. Now they're going to have the chance to prove that, and I for one have no doubt that they will. Number 8. The Arrow Impress. If you're not a fan of DC Comics adaptation Arrow, chances are that you probably aren't all that interested in Stephen Amell's tag team match at SummerSlam. However, this bout isn't taking place only because the actor has a movie or a TV show to promote. He's actually a huge WWE fan who has used his large social media following to gain the attention of the company and make this dream of his a reality. He's also not taking the match lightly as Amell has actually been training for a number of months now to ensure that he can put on a good performance. There's a damn good chance that the star of the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel ends up surprising everyone with just how impressive he is in the ring. Don't get me wrong, Stardust and King Barrett will no doubt have to do most of the heavy lifting, but we really have no idea just how much training Amell has been doing or for how long. He's practically already a stuntman thanks to the intense moves and fight he pulls off himself and Arrow on a weekly basis. So it's not like he's a complete newbie to this type of performance. What may seem like a filler match to those who aren't Green Arrow fans could end up being the night sleeper hit. Number 7. These matches play out just as you might expect. While the extra hour added to SummerSlam has no doubt been put there to make it feel as big an event as WrestleMania, it doesn't really need it. There are more than a few matches on the card which would be better suited to an episode of Raw or SmackDown than a pay-per-view event, and it's not hard to guess how those fairly uninspiring bouts would end up playing out. The Intercontinental Championship match is no doubt going to conclude with Ryback emerging the victor because his title run has barely begun and there's really nothing new or interesting that a Big Show or mid-title reign will add to that uninteresting division. In all honesty, the best thing that could happen to it right now, short of Daniel Bryan returning, would be to have John Cena win the belt and restore it to its former glory as he has the United States Championship. Sheamus vs. Randy Orton is a match I personally feel the need to ever sit through again, and Sheamus winning after being defeated at Battleground and on this past Monday Raw seems the most likely outcome. This match honestly would have been better served with some sort of stipulation. Finally, their Dolph Ziggler and Rusev recently added bout. Lana has gone from being one of the best parts of WWE programming to one of the worst, thanks to her involvement with Dolph, who just feels like the heel in this feud with the Bulgarian Brute for some reason. But the show-off is almost certainly going to take the loss here, to the storyline can be further extended until a mixed tag team match wrap it up in a couple of months' time and protect Rusev from taking a loss when Summer Rae is pinned by Lana. In other words, yawn. Number 6. John Cena doesn't become a 16-time champion. John Cena may claim that the ring gear was designed months ago, and even if that's true, don't expect to see him come out on next week's Raw with a t-shirt celebrating his newfound record as a 16-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It's definitely going to happen at some point before his career comes to an end, but SummerSlam doesn't feel like a grand enough stage, and the Brooklyn crowd is unlikely to respond well to Cena leaving the Barclays Arena as champion. Seth Rollins has been great in that role so far, and while there would be no Sami Cena bringing his reign to an end, recent Raw ratings for a show which didn't feature Cena, Lesnar, or The Undertaker actually did better with Rollins as the main draw. So, it's not like the belt needs to be put back on Cena to help boost struggling ratings. If Cena doesn't lose, that's obviously going to result in Rollins becoming both the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and the United States Champion at the same time. That would be an interesting status quo shift, and it's going to be interesting to see how the titles are then defended moving forward. Will one be put on the back burner while the other is defended, or is Rollins going to be pulling double duty at event? That remains to be seen. But there is, of course, one other option. Number 5. Sheamus cashes in. Regardless of whether it's Rollins or Cena who end up winning both titles, chances are they victor will only walk away with one of them at the end of the night. Assuming Sheamus effectively depasses Randy Orton, the door will be wide open for the Celtic Warrior to cash in his Money in the Bank contract after his failed attempt on Raw a couple of weeks ago. Whether he cashes in on Seth or John, this would greatly simplify the title picture moving forward and freshen up the WWE World Heavyweight Championship scene moving into the autumn. Not that it need it necessarily, but it could still be interesting to see a heel Sheamus have a run at the top for a month or two. It would also do the United States Championship a big favor. Having Rollins and Cena put off their world title rematch off for a few months as they instead battled it out for that mid-card championship will continue to help elevate it, as Cena has so effectively done for the past few months with his regular open challenges on Raw. Of course, if Sheamus cashes in means we have to endure months of him battling Randy Orton for the title, this might be best saved for another day. Number 4. New Day continue to rock. Mocked by the crowd the night after WrestleMania, that could have been the end of the New Day, then and there. However, to the credit of Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, they ran with it and have become a great heel faction in the month which followed. They goofy as hell and revel in that. making them a lot of fun to watch. It's worth noting that despite still receiving the New Day sub chant, it's now because fans want to chant at them rather than simply chanting that because they hate what these guys are doing. Taking the tag team title from the trio so soon was a huge mistake, and it's essential that they regain them this weekend from the primetime player, who apart from some entertaining appearance on commentary, have been rather boring champions. The New Day need to regain their momentum, but another loss at SummerSlam could stop that from ever happening, especially after they failed to win them at Battleground. With any luck, this four-way tag match is going to be as entertaining as past efforts have been, and I fully expect to see the New Day steal the show. They by far the most enjoyable tag team in the currently unexpanded tag team division, and as the WWE hope to freshen that up the same way they have with the Divas, it will be the New Day who walk out with the title this Sunday. Number 3. The Undertaker wrestled as a heel. When The Undertaker returned at Battleground to finally get his revenge on Brock Lesnar for conquering the streak at WrestleMania 30, an interesting thing happened. He delivered a low blow that wildly out of character for the dead man of recent years, and it appeared to be an indication that he had returned as a heel. However, the WWE clearly hadn't foreseen the hugely positive response he would receive that night, and any plan to turn The Undertaker heel appeared to have been dropped by the time he was rolling with Lesnar the next night on Raw. Another low blow to the beast on this week's episode, where Brock was very much the hometown favorite, seemed to finally make it clear that The Undertaker is the heel in this feud, and it's a safe bet to assume that is how he'll wrestle their match at SummerSlam. How the Brooklyn crowd will respond to this is hard to say, and it could be that they'll be split between these two heated rivals. That's just going to help add to the excitement and big fight feel though, and a heel Undertaker which we haven't seen in a very long time, similar to a babyface Brock Lesnar, is going to ensure that this match plays out in a very different way to their last encounter. Number 2. Brock Lesnar conquers the Phenom. Going by the old reverse momentum rule, Brock Lesnar is going to beat The Undertaker at SummerSlam on Sunday. He's been taken down by the dead man on 2 occasions now, and while it certainly was still possible that the beast will fall, that finish will do Lesnar, who appeared on WWE programming far more regularly than his opponent, absolutely no favor in the long run. Does The Undertaker deserve vengeance for the streak being broken? Perhaps, but him beating Lesnar will have been forgotten by the time he returned during next year, Road to WrestleMania. Lesnar and Heyman, on the other hand, will be able to boast about Lesnar once again conquering the man he beat at WrestleMania for the next 2.5 years left on Brock's contract, ensuring that he retains his mystique and importance as a draw who is more dominant than everyone else on the roster. A loss for The Undertaker wouldn't hurt him at all, especially as he looks in great shape and will likely put on a hell of a show on Sunday. Lesnar winning makes more sense, and there is no doubt how things will play out at SummerSlam, especially with the Phenom likely set to utilize some dirty tactics to try and gain the victory. It's also easy to imagine the crowd turning against The Undertaker as the match progressed and he displayed more and more heel traits against the now fan favorite Brock. That will just make the Beast's ultimate victory all the more satisfying. And number 1, Sting returns. Regardless of who ends up emerging victorious between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, some sort of switch at the end of the night involving Sting seems likely and needs to happen. After all, we know he's in town that weekend because WWE Vinale will be doing a meet and greet on Friday. It will be that he returned and cost The Undertaker the match as he closed in on the victory, or interfered and caused it to end in a no contest, which would actually be the perfect way to open the door to a third match between Lesnar and the Dead Man somewhere down the line to decide once and for all who the better man is. Either way, Sting talking The Undertaker will ensure that this year's SummerSlam lived up to the hype. Based on rumors that Sting was at one point going to be part of the Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper match, it's certainly possible that he could get involved with that, setting up a feud with Wyatt which could take place throughout the autumn and winter. Ultimately, it seems far more likely that he'll become involved with the main event, setting up that long woman match with The Undertaker at next year's WrestleMania. Whatever the case may be, prepare to hear the sound of crows as Sting makes his presence felt in some way in Brooklyn. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.